What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. It is time for the Royal Rundown, as it is every Tuesday around this time, whatever time it is where you currently are. I am one half of your hosting duo, Serg Vicente. Joining me as always is my sister from another Mr. Ms. Drade. Ms. Drade, what it do?
What's going on? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Absolutely happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Everybody who's watching live right now, thank you so much for watching on the fastest growing YouTube channel in all of combat sports, the Scrap News. If you want some of the best online combat sports journalism, check them out today. You will not be mad. Also, shout out to the Fight Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All right. We have some wrestling to talk about, people.
Just a couple things.
Couple things. Dre, I have to ask you this because, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I have been, since the Vince of it all, if I have been as connected as I was leading up to Mania.
It's been
locked
1 week.
in every week.
Isn't
going, it and wrestling is truly soap operas for grown-ass men. It is, and I'm talking about backstage as well. Everything. It is Succession. It is Jackass. It is everything in between. Scandal. You know, it's Love and Hip Hop.
How to Get Away with Murder.
You know what I'm saying? Straight. Oh my God, it's everything. All of it. All of it. And so I haven't been watching as much. I obviously you catch the ups and downs, you catch the recaps and stuff, but I haven't been, you know, I make sure to watch. My boy Don been cooking on the mic, so I've been watching all of that. But let's start with this.
Okay.
And I have to throw this up there to you to kick it off. Dre, how worried are you that Vince McMahon, Voldemort, whatever you want to call him, is back?
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named is back.
How worried am I? Personally, I'm worried isn't the right word. Personally, disappointing, sure. Concerned and kind of watching a little bit more hyper vigilantly than we have in the last 10 months or whatever it's been. Yeah. But I'm not as worried. And most of
had it so good.
We had it so nice. I'm not as worried, to be honest with you, because, and this is just like, I'm gonna be honest, because I don't think a lot of wrestling fans are actually this honest about it, but I will. I'm gonna watch it anyway. I just am. Now, may I be as locked in or clocked in into it if it's bad? No. But I've been through many bad, quality-wise, bad years of WWE, right? And so it's not like, it doesn't bother me into the sense where it doesn't make me so upset that I'm going to stop watching.
Right.
However, 1000% still like got the same kind of like, man, we really had, the
good
quality was so good.
Man.
With that being said, though, I do have to say,
of times.
You're gonna be telling the grandchildren we had 10 months.
We had 10 months of
the
best wrestling ever. Oh, storylines, things made sense.
Dovetailing
that
things.
Were pitched at the beginning. Oh man,
so nice.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
What I will say though is, and I know all the reports are all over the place, right? But it does seem like, judging by SmackDown on Friday and yesterday's Raw, it does seem like the level or the extent of Vince's creative on television, was really just a big, Monday Raw after WrestleMania thing, and he was there, and they just let him sit. I won't say let him sit in Gorilla, but he sat in Gorilla because he was there, and he kind of took on that role. I know, sis. I know. And he took on that role. As of Friday, SmackDown, he wasn't there. Like yesterday, he wasn't there, and the qualities of the shows were much better than last week's Raw. And I just feel like, I think that maybe the quality that we got Friday and this Monday, yesterday, is probably the quality we're going to get most consistently.
Okay.
Simply be, that's, I feel like it's that. I also, when I look back on it too, Raw after Mania, last week's Raw was bad, but it was not the worst Raw I've ever seen.
But it was supposed to be a Raw after Mania. It was at the,
if we're honest,
/crypto.com arena.
I'm not lying. I don't disagree, but if we're honest, the Raw after Mania hasn't been good in a couple of years.
But it's supposed to be.
But it's
and we're having good things now. So that just shows us Vince was back to being like, why have you been giving them such nice things?
Why are you
damn
giving
them
nice
and their
things?
nice things? This is how it's supposed to be, and that's what it felt like. So when that happened, I was out. I was out, even to the point that you even heard talents in there like, yo, if he's here, I'm not resigning. Like, it was about to be a whole brouhaha happening, so
a brouhaha
happening. You're just making sure everybody in the back got that.
Yes, spell it out too. Get all the H's in there.
With all the highs and the highs, okay, at the end. But make sure you don't leave off the brew.
That. Don't leave off the brew.
Don't do it.
It is, I'm the wishful, hopeful thinker, in when it comes to this, but that there's things to look, there's things to keep an eye on. I don't even say look forward to, because even I'm like, all right, too. So I'm not necessarily looking forward to them as we would have been if we were confident in the fact that Triple H was actually the head of creative for real. Like, I think we would be looking forward to certain things, but now we just, right.
That's what we're hearing.
That is the official word.
Trips is there. He came back out on the mic, said an official draft is happening. Everybody's bound to get, split back up. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting. And if
that'll be something new for the eye. Yeah.
If Triple H is actually in charge with the draft, you have my curiosity. You piqued my curiosity. Now you have my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have my attention.
You're reaching, but you might be grabbing something.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But only if Trips is in charge. Otherwise, if Vince is there, I'm gonna focus on the mess that AEW is trying to create. I'm just gonna sit here and watch Kenny Omega do Kenny Omega things. All right, like that's it.
Which he gonna be doing plenty of things.
And I'm here for it. Okay. I am here for it. The God of wrestling, all about it. He's that dude. And you know who else is that dude? My boy Dom. But before we even get to that, we have to talk about this really quick. We're gonna start the show off, guys, hitting you guys a little bit of quick hitters, some news and notes and how we feel about certain things. But I'm sure all of us have heard it. Logan Paul resigns. Logan Paul resigns with the WWE, this time with a multi-year deal. This got me thinking, and he did sign for a multi-year deal. And I mean, look, right from the jump, they threw him in there with Roman. He's had, matches with the Miz, and he just had WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. He has great matches. Let's be very, very honest. Dude feels like he almost feels like he was born to do this. So I have to ask you this. Is he a future title holder? Logan Paul. Is Logan Paul a future title holder in the WWE?
So the answer is yes, right? Now, am I going to be happy about that? Absolutely not. I'm not. I'm just not. And
it depends on the title. It depends on the title.
Serge, I hear you. And in theory, I absolutely hear you.
You can take that United States title, and I can definitely, and I'm here for, you know what? He can definitely have the 24/7 title. He could have that. They're in there with the WWE now. They're in there with the UFC now. Give him the BMF title for all I care. Like, give him all these other titles that they want to have. He can have you can have Taz's title, whatever that title was,
FTW,
over there, the FTW title. Give him Taz's title. Give him that one.
Hello, Forbidden Door, huh?
All of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, low key, give them whatever title y'all want to have. But
wait, low key, Hook versus Logan Paul would kind of smack. But anyway,
Hook versus Logan Paul would be the shit. And Hook would
That would kind of slap.
Man, Logan Paul might give him the business.
It would still be fun to watch, though. That would slap.
Fun. It would be a great match. I'm here for Hook versus Logan Paul.
I know. Come on, fantasy booking.
We should have a poll out there. Hook versus Logan Paul. Who wants to see it? I'm down for Hook versus Logan Paul. Okay.
Look, you brought it up. I think he's a future title holder for sure. I mean, and he, came out, on his little show that I don't listen to. It's so terrible. I think Logan Paul's a great wrestler. No, don't get me wrong. He's very good at what he does. I feel a way about underused talent like Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, for example. Mustafa Ali, another one. Like I feel a way about them because, Logan Paul is Logan Paul, and yes, he gets certain eyes to the company, but these men have been, these talents have been there giving you great Ricochet, just giving you great matches, and they deserve, I think, the push that Logan gets sometimes. And so, just for him to say that, he's already in conversations with Triple H about being a future title holder, that just makes me genuinely nervous because he's going to have to beat someone who we're going to really feel like deserves it more. Granted, that's going to be great for his character. It'll be great for the story. So fine.
And what do we always say? Again, if Triple H is in charge, in Trips we trust.
I just hope that they build I hope they build a face. I hope they build a face that we can realistically be like, hell yeah, thank God he saved us from Logan Paul's US title, whatever. Now, if he beats Austin Theory for it, then he might be face on accident, but that's not the point.
I mean, you know what? Have him beat Austin Theory for it, and then have Montez Ford beat him.
I don't hate that.
I'm here for it.
I'm afraid that gets Tez booed, but then,
I don't care.
But Serg is like, great. Turn Tez heel.
Turn heel. Go turn Tez heel. Let's go. Turn Tez heel. Yes. Let's go. Who doesn't want to see that? That would be the best. First of all, I don't know what they're waiting for. There's so many people on the roster right now that it just feels like it's simmering. It's
There's
crazy.
There's a lot of simmering pots, legitimately. Yeah, for sure.
Gunther, simmering.
Oh, yeah, they're setting
Dominic Mysterio, simmering.
Yeah.
Montez Ford, simmering. Chad Gable, just give him some love because that boy be out here cooking. All right. I just need to show him he is your utility player coming out here doing this thing.
American
Alpha.
He
needs a push. He needs a
Did I call him American Alpha? Is that what they...
You did.
The Alpha Academy.
Yes.
Jeez. American Alpha was him and Jason Jordan. But
whoever that is.
Jason Jordan was a wrestler. See, you were watching then. He was a wrestler. Yep. And he's a producer now. But anyway,
well, salute to him.
Yeah, he's actually very dope. But the Alpha Academy versus the Usos last night was very good.
And for those who do not know, it was I was done on the fly.
Yeah.
And because of the chaos backstage.
Because of the travel woes of yesterday. Yes.
That's what I meant.
I got you. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I got you. I know what you're talking about. Just clarifying for the audience.
Because it was crazy. They said they were trying to get there and they weren't able to get there.
Nah, man.
They said it was 15 minutes till showtime, and they said more than 50% of their roster was not there. That is nuts.
From a production level, can you just imagine?
Oh my God, the stress. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody like, who out here? Usos, go out there and get Uzi.
Who is here? Give them a
straight
mic.
Up.
Go crazy.
Just go out there and be Uzi.
And did. They did.
And they absolutely did. All right. So let's do this. Let's transition a little bit of this. Let me ask you this. Across all of professional wrestling, for you, storyline wise,
right?
What was the storyline of the week?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what you thought about all of it, I think the Brock Cody Roman thing is still big.
Yeah,
It's
it's
probably
absolutely big. When you have
it's the
three of the
one.
biggest name in the sport, it's going to be
Yes.
huge. And whatever the kerfuffle it was, we still interested. They threw it together. It might be a train wreck, but we're watching.
And like, I think everyone's kind of tired of, throw Brock Lesnar in there. So boom. And including me, because I've been that way for several years. However, you throw Cody in that mix and it does get more, it is interesting. It's like, all right, so this is the something different. And also like the little seeds of planting about, is Paul Heyman involved in this, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, as much as everyone is frustrated about the fact that Cody didn't win last week.
Who's frustrated?
Lots of people, not you, Serge. Lots of humans are frustrated that Cody did not finish the story. I do think there is, I still think that there is plenty of juice in the squeeze. You know what I'm saying? Like Cody is still the most over babyface next to probably Seth Rollins. Him and Seth are the two biggest over mugs in the company. And I think it's fine. I think Backlash will be fine. But yes, I still think that in all of wrestling, yes, including AEW, which I do adore.
Are Cody and Seth Rollins bigger baby faces than Sami Zayn?
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna go with yes. Only because, and this is only because of the tiered system in WWE, they consider the singles wrestlers a little on a higher tier than the tag teams. Even though KO and Sammy are singles wrestlers, right now they're a tag team. They are tag team champions. They're,
Well, it's interesting because even Cody was talking about recently in an interview when he was tagging, doing a tag team match against the Usos, and he was like, he was talking about that system, but he was like, but you know what? He was like, the Usos, he was like, they're stars. And when you're out there with them, it's like when you're there with the guys at the top of the card. So maybe it's different now with certain teams than others. But I could imagine when he's out there with them, he's like, yo, this is rocking just like if it's Roman by himself. This is nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's the WWE's tiered system, not necessarily the tiered system in the fans' hearts. That's not even necessarily the system in other companies.
Right.
It's, the Usos and the New Day, two great examples, of course, two of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Of all time.
To ever do it.
Yes,
absolutely. Are kind of doing this thing that the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys did back in the Attitude
Dudleys,
Era.
One of my favorite tag teams of all time.
They did the same. They did this. This is nothing new. As we always say, everything around the sun, comes back around. It's nothing new. There've always been tag teams. I don't want to say overshadowing the main event, but being as popular as the main event. There's always been this, and so it's just cool to see another version of this.
For sure,
a current version of this. It's dope.
Nah, it's super dope. I'm here for it. I have to say this most interesting storyline of the week for me, and it was actually going to be one of the questions I was going to ask anyways, but it is the double turn. Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's, he was the, nice cuddly, face smasher, and he was going out there, shaking hands and kissing babies and shit. And then they realized, what's a whole lot more interesting? Let's just make him Goldberg. And they went to there, and you know what? Holy shit, who knew? So much more interesting. And then Carmelo Hayes, all of a sudden, whom, in my opinion, was a tweener. How can you not like him? You know what I'm saying? But seeing how the fans reacted to it, I think the fans love it. Did you know that his father has the highest winning percentage of any professional wrestler in the WWE with 25 matches or more?
Papa Steiner like that? He got it
Papa
like
Steiner. Papa Steiner has the highest winning percentage.
I did not know this. But first of all, who is
that Papa Steiner had the highest winning percentage?
More importantly, who is the statistician that figured that out and how? And how did they figure that
you
out?
already know with all these wrestling people out here, they
Sweet
out there
Lord.
nerding.
That is peak. That is peak nerd right there. Goodness
But
gracious.
Papa Steiner, highest winning percentage in WWE history.
Yeah.
Just
Wowzers.
saying.
I
Who
agree
would have
with you
thunk it?
though.
I would have thought it would have been Undertaker.
He lost a lot though. He lost a lot in the not the Attitude Era, but the Ruthless Aggression era. Like he
Yeah,
did
he
lose.
did. You're right.
He was
You're
kind
right.
of someone you fought to get over
Yeah.
almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
real. That's real.
I will say I'm a fan. I'm a fan of him, Himelo Anthony, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. No, Himelo Anthony. He's
Big.
him.
He is him, and I love
He's ready. He's ready for the main roster
he
today.
really is.
Today.
But I'm also okay with him staying there for, where him and Shawn Michaels got a real good working
Let him
relationship.
cook. Let him
Go
cook.
crazy.
Let him be what Finn Balor was down there.
I was just going to say that. I kid you not, Sergio. It was in my brain cells. I was just going to say that. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let him be that guy for them, and let it have a little bit more grit to NXT. Like I'm done with the, like he said, I'm getting rid of the tie-dye belt or whatever it was, because that era was not the greatest. I'm here for a little bit more, taking it back to the black and gold. You know what I'm saying? Like let's do that. Let's get a little bit more of that. Even aesthetically, I think it looked better, to be fair.
And I
like
know you are partial to the black and old gold.
I am extremely partial to the black and old gold. I absolutely am. But still, those are things that I think are super sick, and I think that we do it. But to me, that was the one. That was the biggest one of the week.
Good shout, for sure.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you this: does that make you want to actually watch NXT anymore?
I have not actually watched NXT consistently in quite some time.
But does this make you want to watch it?
It does. It actually does.
There you go.
I watch the highlights, of course. I do keep up with it, but I just have not watched NXT in quite some time.
Right.
Carmelo being the champ and being a face now, seeing where him and that Braun Breaker feud can still go.
I'm here for it. I'm
definitely like a little more interested now. So
for sure, I'm absolutely here for it. And honestly, I'm interested in NXT right now because I want to see Dragon Lee cook. I really want to see Dragon Lee do his thing. I think he was one of the best signings out there. I understand why, like, he has more of an opportunity to cook here than he would have in AEW. I think in AEW, he probably would have got lost in the shuffle. It's crazy to think that somebody would have got lost in the shuffle somewhere else as opposed to WWE. But especially now with the LWO, like the resurgence of that, it seems like Trips loves him some luchadors. So in that era of fight, that type of competitor. So I mean, I think he has a place in WWE, and so I really want to see him. So I am interested right now with the double turn. Even Trick isn't even that ridiculous to me right now. The whole clique, I'm here for all of it. Let's go. Let's go Carmelo Hayes. Let's go Mean Braun. Like, I'm here because if somebody actually needs to work, I think he needs to get this character right because it is much more realistic. Because he don't look like a big cuddly dude. He might be in real life, but like, nah, dude, have it. Like, we'll see that after your career. I'll see that on your IG. On camera, I want to see you try to, like,
you want to see Braun break some things.
People. I want to see Braun break some shit. Yes, absolutely.
They're gonna give him that crazy name, which is still terrible to me.
Terrible.
If you're gonna give him that name, he should be breaking things and people, etc.
Absolutely.
Like, not in real life, obviously, but So I agree with that. And let's see how he does. The crowd was starting to kind of turn on him anyway. So I think the turn was on time.
It was imminent. It was on time.
Yeah, it was on time.
And Shawn Michaels and HBK, I trust too. All right. Speaking of somebody that absolutely everybody gets one. But somebody that a lot of people thought was going to go to the WWE, and we decided to go back to some old stomping grounds. The former New Japan champ Jay White Jay White is all elite now, and now he made his the Switchblade. The Switchblade is now with all elite, and it seems like he's going to head up against our brother from another pretty Ricky Stark. It seems like they're going in there against him. So I have a little bit of beef with that. I was excited to see Jay White come out, but I'll be honest with you, I'm concerned. I have concerns and legitimate ones. And then let me ask you, tell me if I'm tripping. This feud itself, I feel like it can be done one of two ways. It can be done to elevate somebody or elevate one or even both of them. If they can figure out that way, that'd be really sick.
It's actually 3 of them.
Oh, exactly. I forgot. The other one, the other gun member. Yeah, they look exactly the same.
Tony Storm's husband. Yes.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? Tony's husband. All of them. So you have all 3 of them going out there. So are we going to elevate one of them? Mm-hmm. Is somebody going to get sacrificed? Is Ricky Stark, who all of a sudden was going out there seemingly like he was headed for something? Did he get lost in the JAS sauce? Did we lose him in that story? Is he now having to work his way back? Is he being sacrificed to put on the new big signing, Jay White? I'm concerned that he might be.
These might
be. Yep. Yeah, he might be.
These are all really legitimate concerns. Here,
I said them?
Here is my optimistic rebuttal, if you will, to that. First of all, I think Jay White being in WWE would have been interesting because there's a lot of matchups there that A, we've never seen, and B, we have seen. We would like to see. We would like to see White in a different light.
Glorious.
Yes, or even a triple threat with him, Finn, and Seth would have been amazing. But anyway, you're welcome. I know.
Finn, AJ Styles, who is the real leader of the Bullet Club.
Or fatal 4-way with them 4 would have been absolutely fantastically amazing. Incredible. Completely understand. However, I think
so many missed opportunities.
So many. But I think that AEW does have a roster, not enough TV time problem for sure. And I do think that
ROH is pretty fire.
It's a great current solution to that problem, right? Yes. Second of all, though, I do think, to your point, I think the Jay White, and I am so, why do we keep calling that man Tony Storm's husband? I know his name. I keep thinking of his old NXT name because that's who I remember him as. It's so bad. I'll find it in a minute. But I do think this was because he's also new to the AEW roster as well.
Yes.
And so I think that this feud is being used, and this is
John Morris. No, that's not John Morris.
No, that's not John Morris.
No.
This is a platform, I think, where we're using Ricky Starks and his popularity to elevate Tony Storm's. Gosh, we're gonna find out Tony Storm's husband.
I'm looking for it right now.
Also, Chantel, you know that man's name. What's his name? Sister, help us out here. I'll
find this in a second.
Juice Robinson.
Juice Robinson.
I should know that man is from Illinois. Shout out to gang right here. He from right here over here somewhere.
Whereabouts?
He's from over here somewhere. I don't remember. Probably a south suburb. I bet you it's like Joliet or something.
Yeah, right.
Wait, Joseph Ryan Robinson. Boom. Where is that man from?
Well, he's from Winnetka.
Oh, hold on. From Winnetka. Still Illinois. Shout out to that. But anyways, I think they're using Ricky Starks, and we'll get to this problem in a minute.
Joliet.
That's what I thought it was Joliet. I think they're using Ricky Starks because he's so good, because he's so over with the fans, because he's a very popular person, and people want to see him in high profile feuds. They are using him as a way to kind of help get Juice over, more importantly than Jay, because Jay's already going to be over because he's a
Jay's
bigger
already,
star.
and
He's
he's
a bigger star.
already done matches in AEW.
But I
He's
think
already
that,
over. The product is knows who he is.
but that was part of the Forbidden Door stuff too. So he was New Japan's Jay White then. Now he's, AEW's Jay White. And the fans decipher that. We might not necessarily, but the fans, them fans do. They decipher the difference.
Okay.
Same thing with Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson has been all elite for a little while, but he just was kind of he kind of sat around and didn't do too much. Now we're, him and Ricky Starks was going to be an interesting feud. I was really interested in that. You throw in Jay White and the whole Bullet Club thing. And yeah, it does it gets a little muddy for those who may not know the history, but for those who do, it's like, oh, if these two wrestlers are standing next to Jay White, or if these two wrestlers are standing next to Ricky Starks, they must be at least as equally important, right?
Absolutely.
And so
no, I hear you.
It just goes there. Now, I do have a beef with the actual debut itself. I think that Jay White, I think that Dynamite is such a jam-packed show.
Yes, it is.
And when I say they go from segment to segment to segment, there's no breath because there's so much to get to, because there's so much
even
talent.
during commercials, they're like, look what we got. Look what we got.
They are wrestling picture in picture. Go quick. Wrestling it's just a lot. And Jay White's intro, his appearance or his debut, I think, was a fatality of that, like a consequence of that. They didn't even ring the bell for Ricky and Juice. I think they barely got to it. I think Ricky got into his entrance, got to the ring, and here comes Jay White, period. Fact. There was no breath to it. There should have been a little bit of gravitas, a little bit of breath. The same thing I said about the Cody, Brock turning on Cody during the tag match. That never happened. They should have at least rang the bell. They should have at least did 160 seconds of pretending like we're going to do a match and then let this rock.
You do got to let it breathe a little bit. You absolutely have to let it breathe just a touch.
Because even if when you let a debut breathe, even if you don't know who this person is, you still know it's important. So you're like, oh, I don't know who that is for real, but everybody else does. Maybe I should watch. Now, two, AEW is also very lucky. Their fans, especially the ones who come to the shows, are going to cheer. They're going to boo. They're going to react. There are very rarely, as someone has I've been to several AEW shows. There is very rarely a moment where it's quiet, right? So the one thing that did go very well is Jay White got a hell of a pop. He got a hell of a pop when he came running down there. So that was really good. But I do, I understand your concerns. I too am concerned. I do hope that they I hope all three of these men get a healthy feud. And I'm more concerned about Ricky than I am Jay and Juice, to be honest, because Ricky's been in a bit of a, his push feels like it's been like, it's not stop start, but it's just really slow. It's just real slow.
It feels like it's been a little stop start. It hasn't been exactly what I think any of us would have liked for Ricky's thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we definitely would have liked to see a little bit more. They put him in there with MJF. You would have liked to seen something come of that, not the feeling of he just kind of went to the back of the line. And then they gave him Jericho, and it seemed like something was going to come of that. And then out of nowhere, it just kind of disappeared. So I don't know. I feel like I got lost in the sauce.
I really, really wish he was involved in this whole MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy.
Like he's not one of the pillars.
Sammy Guevara situation. Either include him and I love Jungle Boy to death. I do. I think
he's not Ricky.
I enjoy him quite a bit. I think we could have replaced Jungle Boy with Ricky in that situation, in my personal opinion. But that storyline is
hold on. Did they have him lose today or something? I haven't been able to watch yet, because if they did, like, come on, man, y'all got to do better than that.
You know what it could be though.
Trying to do?
When I have noticed when they have a hat signing, they make him go to NXT, and if he loses like a lot quickly, he moves up also quickly. So maybe it's just like a hey, we just real quick. We just wanted to see. We just wanted to see real quick. Okay, go now. Go. We'll re-debut on WWE enemy roster.
Okay.
I'm hoping in the main event.
Okay.
I get Grayson Waller. I mean, they got him in there with people they like. You know what I'm saying? He's in there with
And
people
he
that they
keeps losing
push.
to their like best guys. So are maybe is it like they're like, okay, like that's I mean, exactly. Why is he not considered a pillar of AEW? He
That's
absolutely should.
we
I felt
we
like
don't
he
have we
yeah,
don't we want that man in the whole pillars match with the rest of them joints
absolutely.
because he should be
Absolutely.
there.
He absolutely should be there. Absolutely. All right.
I think
Um
maybe it's because he wasn't. He got. I think he got signed later. It was
okay.
early in a
Okay.
like very early in AEW's career, but he wasn't like an original signing, and I think that's the only reason he's
Maybe
not
that's why.
considered.
All right. Well, speaking of people who have signed and re-signed and have gotten the bag, FTR has
Hey,
re-signed. Not only have they re-signed with AEW, they beat the Young Guns
and new.
and new, and now they're the new tag team champions. We love this. This is fantastic. Obviously,
Many
big
men
yo. When
wish
those
death
fools went
upon
out
me.
there, when the Young Guns went out there to Many Men, I almost lost it. I giggled out loud.
The Young
Seriously.
Guns, the
The
Gun
Young
Club.
Guns, yeah,
You
the
gonna call
guns.
them
I
the
said
Young
the Young
Guns?
Guns. I straight up, I did. Yes, like they're
It's okay.
back
I
in
mean,
the
they're
day,
coming
like
out
they're
to many.
rocking.
They're
Might
coming
as
out to
well be
many
the
men.
Young
They might as well
Guns.
change the names to Young Guns. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller Records.
You get down, baby. That's
The
the
Harlem
girls
Shake Up
together.
with
That's
this
my shit.
I don't even know if the Young Guns sing that. This is the first time.
I think they do.
I
I think
think
they
that is
do. But
hilarious.
yeah, he's absolutely one of the pillars, and I'm happy that the Ass Boys took that L. I fuck with FTR. Let me ask you this though: what
Yeah.
direction would you like to see the champs go now? They resigned.
Jeez.
They beat them. I mean, what direction? What do we like to see?
Yeah, we need a
Cero
story of some
Miedo
sort.
just going out there and they got the titles at ROH now. I mean, do they go
Yeah.
against them? Like, what's happening?
AEW has to build stories, period. Like they just have to build some more stories we can invest in. And the FTR is too good not to put them in something that can show
Yeah,
all
put
of
them in
those chops.
something.
They got chops too. Like they can, you know what I'm saying? We've got to see they're good on the mic. They've got the acting chops that makes you believe everything they say. And we need them. I want them in something where we can believe them. I don't want them mixing it up with the Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't want
Get
I
lost in the
damn
sauce over there with
I
Ricky.
I damn near don't want a rematch with the Ass Boys, even though I do feel like that might be the easiest, quick thing to do. Like they might do a rematch like ASAP, surely. Fine, but it needs to pivot into something else. I
For
think
sure.
the Elite are gonna probably at some point want those titles back too. There's a lovely story
I'm
there
fine with the
somewhere.
Elite. I'm
That's
fine
also
with
gonna
them
give us
having the thing. Yeah.
That's also going to give us some great matches. I know it's a face and face dynamic, but FTR is real good at playing tweener. The Elite is very good at being heels if they have to. So like, I just think I want something a little bit more high profile and with
Anybody.
some
He
more
just
meat
needs to not
and with some
have
more
it
meat on
anymore. It's not good. It's not working.
it.
I've
I
been
actually think they're
said
gonna.
this.
I think he's gonna beat all of those pillar folk, and I think it's gonna be someone that like a Jay White, a Kenny. I think it's more like Kenny Omega, to be honest, like a Kenny Omega or something that's going to take the title from him.
I mean, I'm definitely okay with Kenny Omega having that title at this point in time.
Because regardless of how we feel about MJF, the crowd hates him so much that he's getting. I'm going to
He's
say this.
getting love that they
He's
want.
getting Dominic Mysterio heat. So, I love that that's a thing now. So I think that I have to look at when the next pay-per-view is, which I think it's semi-soonish.
Yeah.
But I have a sneaky suspicion that he's going to keep that title for a little longer because they want to continue to build the lure of MJF. And although he might not necessarily be hitting it for us, he's hitting it for a whole lot of folks. So
Hey, it is what it is. Not everything is for me. I get it. So like, look, people
no, me
like
neither.
Moxley. I don't either. So,
Yes,
it
I
had
don't.
happened.
My sister
Look,
might come
man.
to you.
Look, man. Dead Poet Society Mox, like it's cool. It's all good.
I like what they're
Um,
doing with the Black Pool Combat Club, though. Them being just
I
mad
like it.
bullies,
Yeah, this is the best thing they
and
could have done.
Daniel Bryan
And
being
yes,
that unhinged. I'm sorry,
love it.
unhinged Bryan Danielson. A
Yes,
heel Bryan Danielson is never bad. Never has
I'm
been.
here
Never
for it
will
all.
be.
It's great.
Always. It's gonna be
It's
great.
great. It's great. Every part of this I love. I love that. All right. Now keeping with factions of AEW. One of our favorite, I mean, totally joking, definitely not one of our favorite ones, but the Mogul Affiliates, Swerve's
Wait, what's the
faction,
thing? Is it like
the
this?
Mogul Affiliates, yeah, whatever, like the fake Illuminati, whatever they got going. But the Mogul Affiliates are now joining forces with a faction that I kind of like, is the Embassy.
Yeah.
I know you like the Embassy, but the Embassy, I'm.
I am a fan of the embassy and their work. They're great
Yeah.
workers, especially Khan. He's great. Shout out to you, bro.
But the Embassy, did they retain their? I think they did. Yes, they retained
Yes.
their Ring of Honor Trios titles, and they're the ROH Trios champions, and now they're also part of the Mogul Affiliates. I'll be honest with you, best thing they could have done, Mogul Affiliates, that is, because I like the Embassy. I like Khan and them. I like Brian Cage. I like all those guys, right?
Yeah.
Toa Tonga, whatever his name is over there, with Toa, whatever his name is. Toa is something. I don't know.
We're just gonna go
I'm gonna
with that.
find it. The other dude.
I'm writing it
Whatever
down.
his name is. Whatever his name is. But I like all those dudes. They're a great tag team, big athletic dudes. I'm here for it all. Serge, you are wrong about Mox. No, I'm not. I'm totally fine. I know exactly how I feel. Um, I like it. How do you feel about it? What are your thoughts?
I 1000% agree. I think first of all, the Mogul affiliates needed something. It needed
Because
something.
they've been lost in the sauce.
Very lost in the sauce. No shade to Swerve, but like it just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. It just feels, for me, it feels very inauthentic.
Accusations. False accusations.
It just felt mad inauthentic, and this is no shade to, we're fans of Swerve's work in the ring, so we already know he's amazing in the ring. So that's like that. But I just, the whole it felt very like, I can't do Hit Row, so I'll do the Mogul affiliates, and it's very like, and I just think Hit Row worked better because the folks in
the other three were better. The other talent in there, Top
and a lot
Dollar,
of people,
Adonis, B-Fab, were there. Now, granted, and that's the thing, that this is a moment where the four of them are better together than they are apart.
And a lot of people would have said, and a lot of people
Yeah.
have been saying that, oh, the Hit Row in WWE is missing Swerve. And yeah, of course it is, because they
Absolutely.
were, they were a foursome. Granted, they were those three before Swerve. Let's just be clear.
Absolutely,
But
1000%.
I also but on the flip side, like Swerve is great as a solo act, a solo wrestler, or whatever. But like in singles competition, but the two folks that Parker Bordeaux was in NXT, but he never like really did anything there. So that's kind of like that's the connection for them. Other dude, we don't even know dude. We don't even know his name still. Do you know his name? I don't even know his name. And then they dipped. And so like then we lost track of them, right? So
they just disappeared. Disappeared.
Them merging, I think, is a really good fit for everybody, because everybody is still learning the ring. The other guys, Khan and them, I forget, what is the name of their faction?
The
It's
Embassy.
not Mogul Affiliate. Embassy. Thank you.
Embassy.
Folks are still learning. If you don't watch Ring of Honor, you don't know who the Embassy is for real, right? You've seen them before. You've seen them even get beat in AEW, right? Because they'll send a few of them out there when people
got beat. They got beat by Ray Phoenix and Cedro Miedo in Penta.
So,
Death Triangle. That's what it
you've
was.
seen them. You've seen them before, but you don't. If you don't watch Ring of Honor, you don't really realize that they're like trios champs and all this other stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this could work for both. This could make Swerve's
Yes.
mogul affiliate thing work a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
And for the
Because then
embassy,
the
it gives
other
them more
two,
TV time.
and then the other two they can do like a tag team thing and be like interesting there. You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Absolutely.
like there's directions that they can go and really be intertwined in multiple storylines if
Agreed.
they do it right. So I like this addition with the embassy. Like I really like the embassy. I think those guys
Yeah.
together, I think they're a great
For real.
faction. So
Absolutely.
like yeah, so this is because I wasn't here for the mogul whoever's forever. I still not here for it. But like if they're attached with them, let's go. Let's see what's going on with it. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll give them a
All right,
look. We'll give them a
I'll
look.
give him a look. I'm here for it. I give him a look. All right. Yo, I mean, with that being said, I mean, Dom Mysterio was fantastic. Him and Ray doing a thing. What can I say?
Yeah.
You know, Bloodline doing Bloodline things. But that's about all the time we got. I don't got nothing else. What you got?
Yo, I'm about the same. I'm laughing at Joey over here. He said that dude was rolling around with Rick Ross and Brock Lesnar's son. Did you just call Parker Bordeaux Brock Lesnar's son? Joey is a fool. Joey also pointed out that B-Fab has been training with Natalya and Tyson Kidd. And let me tell you something. For those 3.5 seconds B-Fab was in the Women's Royal Rumble this year, you could absolutely tell. I'm watching out for that.
It's funny because she really was in there for just about 3.5 seconds.
3.5.
She went in there, bust a move. You're like, ooh, and then she got tossed out, and you said, she was gone.
For
but
real.
You could tell she's been working. Good for her.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking for.
No, that's not Brock's real son.
Good God Almighty.
Oh man.
But I do think it'll be fun to watch. I think it'll be fun to watch her growth once they let her actually wrestle some more. I'm here for it. I do want to dress her once. I think she is a beautiful woman, and I just want to switch up the look a little bit. But other than that, I think she's great. I think she's great.
And honestly, that we need some mid-card women to do their thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, she'd be perfect for that.
Absolutely.
I want to see her cook Selena Vega, who I think should be a little higher than mid-card, but I think that's a great placement for her.
Selena should be wrestling far more. She should be wrestling far more.
1,000%. She's a great manager, but I would love to see her as that. Okay. And aside from that, new women's champs and what's your name?
Women's tag champs. Yes.
New tag champs and
we got the Trish Stratus
turn. We all said it was coming. It finally came. I'm not moved. I'm sorry. I don't care at this point in time. I don't. I thought their performance during WrestleMania was the drag of the show. Damn. And this just doesn't do anything for me. Look, if you guys know how I feel, and we got 49 episodes of proof. I'm here for people who cook. If you go out there and you can cook, that's why I give Logan Paul props. He can wrestle. Who are the people that you guys know that I really fuck with the most in terms of like talent wise? Ferg, Lucha Bro, everybody who can cook, right? Are the people that I actually like. Man, it's like it's hard to watch. Like, you know what it looks like? You remember back in the day watching basketball? And it was like that like last Bulls run, right? It was like 98, like Robert Parrish was on the team. And Robert Parrish with them like with the super big knee braces and shit was like slobbing up and down the court, and you just felt bad watching him. Tell me
what is wrong with you?
That way.
What is wrong with you?
Feels like that. I don't even want to sit here and watch this person. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad, and then I'm like, yo, you're going to get hurt. I'm not having joy in watching this anymore.
All right.
I'm sorry. I wasn't here for it. But Trish and Becky, I think there is a classic left in Trish. I think Becky might be able to give her a good show. And I'm going to and I'll leave it at that.
I I'm gonna help you out, Serge. You're not. I think Trish going heel is great. Trish loves playing that heel, and you can
Fantastic.
tell
I'm here for it. Yes, she
she's
does.
good. So she already makes it a little bit more interesting in that role.
Even
1000%.
botched the little, hit in the back of the head.
Whatever.
She
But
didn't
she
even
did.
get that right, but she
But
did
she
it.
went crazy after that, though.
She
Like I
went
love it.
crazy after. Yes, she did.
So I think she's in there with the wrong person.
Who should she be in there with?
You know who I'm gonna
And
say.
why is Mercedes Monet the answer?
Well, there's that. But I was talking about someone who's actually currently employed by WWE, but also that 1000% that we can co-sign that 3 more times. She should be in there with Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair does not have a heel to face currently. And Bianca Belair, who is a super baby face right now, still getting the cheers. She's still the champion. Trish should be fighting her. That should be a storyline that could cook and blah, 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 and bubble over and all that other stuff. They could have kept, honestly, the titles on Lita and Becky, the women's tag titles, until actually at least Backlash, and then had, and they've been dragging this daggone Damage Control thing out forever, dragging out for 3 more weeks, and let Damage Control win them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they could have done that. Because I'm sorry, no shade, no tea, no shade. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan is not it.
It's not it.
Not as a pair. Liv Morgan, I like her. I wish they didn't abandon her push the way they abandoned it. I wish they would have adjusted, but didn't abandon. I like Liv. Yeah. I think she's fun. I think she's also one of those people that you can build because, again, fans like her. Regardless of how you feel about it, fans like her. So build on that, right?
Yeah.
Raquel,
for sure.
Honestly, I feel Raquel.
I'm not a fan.
She doesn't move me.
It doesn't connect. Yeah,
she doesn't move me, and that's no. I'm sure she's a wonderful person, but she just doesn't move me. In the ring at all. Anything about her performance does not move me. She's not this big. She's like trying to make her like this big man or whatever. This strong and there's nothing she does in the ring that makes me go ooh, right? Everything she does, Bianca Belair does better.
Yeah, and so does Rhea Ripley.
And they have and Rhea Ripley, and they have them do those things in front of us all the time. So we're already seeing it done better twice at least. So it's like, and then
it's just not connecting. And you know what it is too? The other two that are roughly the same size, I can say the bigger girls, like you said, are 2 pillars of the company at this point in time, literally the 2 title holders. And not only that, both of them have you know what it is? The 2 of them have far more charisma. There's so much more charisma with the other 2. Raquel, unfortunately, doesn't have charisma, and the other 2 have athleticism, where I feel like Raquel kind of just like lumbers around. It looks like some of those old giants from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I
those
think that
guys
part
are
of
just
that,
tall and not athletic.
Agreed. And I think part of that is because that is the big man style, like WWE big man style of wrestling. Like, I think part of it is that. I said part of it. I think part of it.
I'm looking at a comment.
I know what you're looking at, child. Foolery, foolishness. Just Joey is on. Joey, put the cup down, baby. Put it down. Put the drink down. She just isn't doing it for me at all. And I don't know if it's it's kind of similar to what I said about Swerve and the Mogul affiliates. Not connecting because it doesn't feel authentic.
Damage Control doesn't connect. Exactly.
It doesn't.
Some just things don't work. And it
doesn't. The lucky thing about Damage Control, though, is it's made up of Io Sky and Dakota Kai, right? Like that is
honestly,
saving them
I think
because they're
Raquel probably needs to go to NXT, to be fair. I think if she goes to NXT, you can put her in some feuds with some people. I think she needs to work on her mic skills. I think she needs to work on her charisma because she sits there with that mask, like plastered smile on the whole time that doesn't feel authentic. Like, it's terrible, dude. It's terrible. And it's just like the whole gimmick is whack. It just has Vince McMahon written all over it. You know what I'm saying? So
have her turn on Liv so I can care. Like, have her turn on Liv so I can care. It's really what like. And that actually would help both of them, to be honest. But
it would absolutely help both of them.
They're the tag champs right now, so
Well, we'll
I
see
can't
what
do that
happens.
right
We'll see what
now.
happens. I'm not a fan of that one, but like I would be very happy to see them get BFAB some work because that mid card, for the women's absolutely needs some work. And then if they did have that, we can actually build to some storylines so we won't have the lack of it that we did leading up to WrestleMania. So that would be
Yes.
pretty dope. All right. That's about all the time we have for today, folks. That's it.
That's it,
What's up?
friends.
Oh, was
That's
that
it,
yeah?
friends.
That's it. That's it. That's all. That's wrestling for this week. I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? Please do yourselves a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the fastest growing YouTube channel in all of combat sports. That is the Scrap News YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe to not only this video, but all the other ones, the litany of other interviews and things that we also have. You know what I'm saying? Not your average wrestling show. It is the absolute best. We use big words here because we be reading books and shit.
We loquacious and stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Let them know. But make sure you guys go out there and read the articles also on the Scrap News' website so that you go out there and really get your learn on about all the fight news and sports out there. Do your thing and do yourself a favor, like, share, and subscribe to the Fight Podcast as well. It's over there in that corner. Love y'all. We appreciate you. And as always, before we leave, I let you know, leave you with some. What was it? What?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. What?
This is episode 49 for real.
49. Yes.
That means our next episode is
50 of them things. 50 of them things.
What?
Man,
y'all, this is crazy.
With all of my shows, I'm somewhere around 600 or so. But you know who's counting.
Okay, flex on them a little bit. Just flex on them a little bit.
I do this potting thing. Eventually someone's going to pay me to do it, though. All right. Let them know. Let them know. From your lips to God's ears, as they say. Speaking of people out there who have, preach the gospel of the Lord and go out there and tell people about themselves and how to uplift themselves in multiple facets of life, take some wise words today from none other than Joey Crack.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.